All right. Here we go. Here we go. Let me make sure this is all right. Testing, testing. The levels are good. The levels are good. Oh shit. Furious Legacy Gaming. Hey, that sounds good. This is an impromptu live. So I'm gonna be quick about this. Furious, let me know. Thumbs up, something. Yeah, salute. All right, appreciate it. Appreciate it very much. All right, this is gonna be quick. All right. Let me make sure everything's good. Here we go. All right. All right. We're good. Y'all probably thinking, all right, what Puerto Rock is doing? What the hell? What's going on here? What's happening? Yeah, y'all probably wondering. Yes, head, you loud and clear, but okay, awesome, outstanding. Thank you so much. Thank you for the quick check. All right. I'm glad you're here. All right. I'm gonna be quick about this. Why am I doing a live? Because number one, is actually faster than recording a video, rendering it, uploading it, quality check, all that weird shit. And then I still have to figure out what's going on with my recording thing. If you heard my last recorded video, it sounded messed up. So I don't know what's going on, but I'm fixing that. But this is quick, it's easy, and it's already an algorithm, and everybody gets to listen to it real quick. All right. Okay. But y'all seen the title. We got PlayStation gamers that enjoy defending Sony than actually enjoying the PlayStation console. In fact, let me add that to the title. More than enjoying the PlayStation console. Hmm. There we go. I edited the title. Today proves that. We have PlayStation gamers that actually find more enjoyment defending Sony versus enjoying what the console brings. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Um, Listen here, Karate Kid. You know, I call out PlayStation for what it is, but when it comes to the console, it's always about the console. So, go. What is it? Parkside Tengu? You change your name, bro. Go continue a beef with Purple Haze. Now, listen, right? I'm going to explain to you. Now, everybody's thinking how, and there's some gamers. I'm going to explain how. Today, we had the announcement. Jade Raymond left her studio. The studio that's making Fair Games, and now rumors has it that Fair Games is in trouble, whatever. It's not looking good for the game, right? Another live service issue. This gen, PlayStation's live service strategy is an abysmal flop. The only thing that came out of this new strategy was one game, and that's Helldivers. That's it. One game out of an entire strategy. One goddamn game. One goddamn game. So I'm like, I retweeted the article, and I'm like, at this point, 2025, I get 2020 when Sony talked about live service. I get it. Oh, it's the big deal. It makes lots of money. Companies got to make decisions and suits. I get that. But now, 5 years into this, after we've seen everything so far, right? If you enjoy PlayStation 5 consoles, you have to be at the point where you're like, you know what? This shit's trash. This strategy is fucked up. Regardless of the reason, whatever, it's a dumb strategy. It failed. It's not working. It's done nothing but it's literally the weakest part of the PlayStation strategy. The overall PlayStation strategy, the most fucked up part about it is the live service strategy. Everything else is fine. And if you do point out something, it's probably because of the live service strategy did something that. Right? The console this is probably the best piece of hardware Sony has ever created in terms of hardware, right? The PlayStation Portal. Even I admit I was wrong about that. Phenomenal. Even the VR2, which is niche, is still a great product. It's just niche. A lot of people don't want to play VR. You understand what I'm saying? The technologies and all that stuff. But when you look at the mistakes that PlayStation had, the biggest is the live service strategy. Okay? Now, Look at that. Immortal Black. So you're having this conversation with Jay Raymond? All right. See what I'm talking about? Let me not make assumptions. If you look at the entire strategy this gen for the live service, it sucks for PlayStation. Helldivers is the only thing they got right. Everything else they gotten wrong. Even their second party relationships for live service sucks. Destruction All Stars sucks. Foam Stars sucks. It all sucks. They can't even get that right for their new strategy. Even if you are a fan of multiplayer and you want Sony to bring out great multiplayer, right? You still have to admit you lost so much over this strategy, right? I see Mr. B said GT7 great. GT7 is a long-standing franchise that was multiplayer. It's just evolving. So GT7, MLB The Show, even other companies like, let's say, Capcom with Street Fighter 6. That's pretty much live service. But those are multiplayer games that evolved over time. So the multiplayer evolved, right? Like Madden and 2K, right? But their strategy, their core strategy of dedicating and creating live service experiences sucks. The only thing they did was Helldivers. RP Spaces. PlayStation has great numbers. Why are some people mad? Sure, they have great numbers. In fact, they set a new record. $31 billion in revenue and the highest profit margins. But that wasn't because of their live service strategy. If anything, they noted Concord minimized their record for profits. Kind of held them back, even though they still made a new record. But the main thing is this. What have we got from this live service strategy? You lost more. We lost more from this strategy than gained. Completely. We only gained Helldivers 2. That is it. Everything else is an L. Everything else. I'll give you whatchamacallit. I'll give you one perfect example. Real world example. All right? I'll give you multiple real world examples. Excuse me. We'll start with this one. Hold on. Kind of parched. The Last of Us 1 remake. Got a remake of The Last of Us 1. Full built from the ground up remake of the original game, The Last of Us. But something was missing. What was missing? Factions multiplayer. Factions multiplayer, right? And why was Factions multiplayer missing from the remake? Because Factions 2 was being made. So they're not going to invest time in Factions 1, remaking that, when you got Factions 2. Clearly, they want everybody to play Factions 2. That's the logic. Well, guess what? Phone out. I hate my phone beeping. I don't know, my phone's somewhere. Anyway. Okay, anyway. Factions 2 was supposed to be your factions. That was the game that you were supposed to play, which is why they said, don't worry about Factions 1. Don't be mad at Sony for not remaking Factions 1, because you're going to get Factions 2. And your multiplayer games were like, oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, you didn't get Factions 2, did you? So you didn't get Factions 1, and you didn't get Factions 2. Oh, my God. All right. I got to pick up this call. All right. Emergency diverted. Back. What was I at? Oh, Factions 2 didn't get it. Now, granted, I'm glad Factions 2 is not coming out. I'm happy it's not, because it would have changed the dynamic of Naughty Dog. So I'm good with it. But you, PlayStation console gamers, that would have enjoyed The Last of Us 1 Factions remake, You can't be happy about that because you're not getting Factions 2, which is what you wanted, and you didn't get Factions 1. You could have at least been playing Factions 1 Remake right now, but you're not. Let me add another example. Blue Point and Sucker Punch. We're getting nothing new from them this gen. I mean, not Sucker Punch, Sony Bend. Sony Bend. Sony Bend. We're getting nothing new from them at all. Because they were working on live service and they canceled it. So we get nothing from Sony Bend. No games from Sony Bend. Blue Point, the studio does an amazing job with remakes. We were all hyping. All of us was hyping. Let's not lie. Do not lie and say we weren't hyping rumors of Bloodborne remake. Or maybe they're doing a Castlevania. Remember that? Yeah, remember those talks? Or Metal Gear Solid 1 remake. We were all hyping that. Granted, there were rumors, but we had this inkling of excitement at what Blue Point's gonna do. Like, man, maybe they could do something to Castlevania. That would be crazy. Oh shit, Metal Gear Solid 1. Yo, that'll be dope. They will be doing such a great job. And other people's like, nah, it's probably Bloodborne. Yeah, you get nothing. We get nothing. Because they were doing live service God of War. Yeah? Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Now, I know I seen the damage control on Twitter. Games get canceled all the time. That's why I'm saying the strategy sucks. Because PlayStation has single-player strategies. And within that strategy, you have canceled games. We know there's canceled games. Single-player games get canceled. But they also delivered multiple single-player games. Many of them Game of the Year level titles. So even within their failures, they still delivered the GOATs. That's why the single-player strategy didn't fail. Sure, games on PS2 were canceled. Games on PS3 were canceled. Games on PS4 were canceled. They still delivered single-player experiences, and many of them, some of them, were GOATs. Or at a minimum, Game of the Year contenders. The live service strategy this gen, you get one game. Helldivers 2. That's it. Nothing else. And not only did you get nothing else, it actually hurt us from getting more games. Again, you don't got The Last of Us 1 remake Factions because of Factions 2. We're not getting a new game from Sony Bend. Nothing. Because of live service. We're not getting a remake of Bloodborne or the rumors of Metal Gear Solid 1, which I get it. That was a long shot because it's a Konami game or Castlevania. None of that. None of that. Because of a live service game. Naughty Dog, that live service, really threw off their schedule because Factions 2 was supposed to be their new game. Right? And if I say they would have released Factions 2 and it would have been popping, nobody would really look at Intergalactic as like, oh, it's taking too long. Maybe us single player guys would feel kind of way, right? We would feel kind of salty, right? We would still feel salty. I feel kind of salty, but I understand. They just been working on Factions 2. That takes time. Staggering development. Hey, it is what it is. We just have to sit there. But my shit got delayed for a product that didn't even come out. Naughty Dog released no new gen. And then if you didn't see it with Zubitech, I had him on a Friday Night Live. Highly recommend you see that one. He said live on the air, from what he's hearing, Intergalactic might not be a 2026 game. It's looking more like a 2027 game. The live service strategy absolutely is the weakest part of PlayStation and is the trashiest strategy. It failed. It has brought more problems than successes. Helldivers 2 is the only success. That's it. Everything else has just been an abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. Reps in peace space, let Indy cook. The problem is the main dish they cooked had to be delayed for a dish that never came out. So I'm not arguing ND don't cook, but the meal they were trying to prepare was garbage. And it never got served. So the meal we do want, we have to wait on it. Because the schedule got all thrown off. That's what I'm trying to talk about. That's the point where I'm talking about. I understand he gotta cook, but they're late or behind with that meal because of the live service strategy. That is what I am talking about. Stop defending Sony. Defend the console. I need console warriors. True console warriors. Not corporate warriors. I need console warriors on my side. Yes, we want console warriors. Console warriors versus corporate warriors. You know what? This is the new civil war I'm starting. I'm starting a new civil war. Because I'm going to be honest, the team single player, team multiplayer, I whooped your fucking ass, bro. You got your asses whooped. Don't even talk to me about multiplayer. We fucked you up, bro. Y'all got slaughtered. This shit wasn't even fair. Don't even talk to me about team multiplayer. Shut up. We murdered y'all. This fight's over. Y'all, I'm the only dude that's winning wars out here. War with Xbox, crushed them. War with you multiplayer. Now I'm starting new shit. We planted a new flag. Corporate warriors. I'm going after y'all motherfuckers. I'm going after the corporate warriors. Console warrior single player versus corporate warriors. Whose side are you on? I'm 2-0. So you better choose wisely. Who you siding with? I need my console warriors falling rank. Form it up. Form it up. We blasted past the multiplayer factions. They got slaughtered. That shit was too easy. That shit was way too easy. Way too easy. Ripping y'all apart. Y'all multiplayer gamers didn't even have a chance in this battle versus team single player. Y'all motherfuckers didn't even have a chance. Like, fuck, we slaughtered y'all. I feel bad. I feel like I should be charged for a war crime at this point. I feel like I didn't abide by the Geneva Conventions. That's how bad you multiplayer factions got slaughtered. Y'all got bodied in this contest. Don't say nothing to me. Now I'm going after the corporate warriors because we clearly have them. We clearly have corporate warriors that are not aligned with the console. I know for what we could confuse the two, but there is clear delineation between the corporate warriors and the console warriors of PlayStation 5. And I'm going to take my console warriors. We forming it up. We're marching. I'm like that Grim Reaper knocking on the door. Knocked on Xbox, get the fuck out. Knocked on multiplayer, get the fuck out. Now I'm knocking on the corporate warriors. I'm coming after y'all. Anonymous, thank you for the super chat. What's good, my bro P-Rock? You looking forward to Ghost of Yotai? Those older gen military games were awesome, P-Rock. SOCOM was very good back then, and Resistance 2, absolutely. And of course, Ghost of Yotai. I'm all about that. All about that, Anonymous Boss. But listen, pick a side. We starting new shit. Because there's corporate warriors on our ranks. And I'm not going to ignore the corporate warriors. Like Xbox content. No. We got to sniff y'all out. Because y'all liking the corporate more than the console. Because if you enjoy the console, you enjoy what PlayStation 5 brings, you have to see that this live service strategy is just the worst part of the PlayStation 5 console strategy. It's absolutely the most abysmal part. Out of all the things they did, that's the most abysmal thing. That is the worst part, and Sony got to remedy that shit. You know, people are going to talk about, oh, you don't understand corporate business. Listen, those conversations was fine 3-4 years ago. When Sony announced the live service strategy, and yeah, this is what they want to do. Yeah, we got it. The money, whatever. Guess what? You suck at it, Sony. You suck at it. Sorry. You're garbage. It's the worst strategy. You're not good at it. Let it go. Let that shit go. Listen, bad enough we're stuck with Bungie. So hopefully Marathon doesn't flop. I'm not wishing to flop because Bungie doesn't really interfere with my strategy because they bought a new studio. Even Haven, I'm not really that mad at it to a certain point. I am kind of, no, I'm lying. I am pissed off because some of the money they spent on these goddamn studios, they could have just used the money. For example, instead of buying the Concord devs and wasting all that money, they could have used that money to boost up Sucker Punch and give them a second development team, right? So that way Sucker Punch has 2 development teams. They could have been working on Ghost of Yote, And maybe the other team could have been working on a new Infamous title, or at a minimum, to get the reps going, since we love remasters, do a remake of Infamous 1. And I guarantee we will all love it. Tell me, who here would be mad at that? Instead of paying for Concord devs and that bullshit game, they would have said, you know what? Sucker Punch, you got a new development studio, all right? They're brand new. We're going to promote some of you guys to lead the studio. Let's get some reps in. Do a full-blown remake of Infamous. So now you got Ghost of Yotei, and maybe in a year or two, or maybe Infamous would have came out already. Who knows? If they would have done that from the beginning, right? In fact, look at Bluepoint. Bluepoint got Demon Souls full-blown remake in 3 years. They did a amazing job with Demon Souls, right? So let's say it takes about 3 years to make a full-blown remake because they have the source material, right? They have the source material. So it's not as in-depth. It doesn't take 5-6 years to make a full-blown remake because Bluepoint did it in 3. So if they start out off the gen 2020, instead of I think they even bought Concord before 2020. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. When did PlayStation acquire the Concord devs? Was it 2019? I think they even did it earlier, 2020. Just correct me if I'm wrong, whatever. Right? They invested money before they purchased it, but please, I don't remember the exact dates or whatever, right? But let's assume 2020 to kick off the year. Millions of dollars. And they go to Sucker Punch. And be like, hey, Sucker Punch, we know you guys are working on Ghost of Yotei, right? But we're going to spend money. We're going to hire development talent. Some of you are going to get promoted. So now you guys with great experience, you're going to be able to develop games with this new studio, or new team. So you got Team A, Sucker Punch, and Team B. Team A working on Ghost of Yotei, which is going to release this year in 2025. But remember, this is a 2020 conversation. They'll tell Team B, A, to kick off and really get revenue going, we want you to make a remake of Infamous. Built from the ground up. And they'll probably be like, oh, yeah, we could do that. And they'll give us reps with our new guys. And we'll probably get that out in 3 years or so. So in 2023, early 24, we would have had Infamous remake already done by now. And then in 2025, Ghost of Yotei. You see what I'm saying? So I am kind of salty at these purchases of live service games because we got nothing. Goddamn nothing. 5 years into the gen, no one on PlayStation should be co-signing this live service strategy anymore. I understand you did in the beginning and maybe the first 2 years, but by this point, right, we cannot be like Xbox fanboys and just sync with the ship. Now, this doesn't mean PlayStation 5 is bad across the board. No, it's this one problem. It's this one problem that PlayStation has, and it is a problem. This is really the only problem, main problem that they have, which is impacting other stuff, which is delaying or shifting schedules for first-party single-player games. That's what's happening. At the core, this live service strategy sucks, and we cannot be like Xbox fanboys who just refuse to say, you're right. The strategy sucks. The corporate guys got it wrong. We can't be like the Xbox fanboys because we not talked to them and told all the stupid strategies and stupid decisions their company made and they just rejected it. So what makes us any different? How are we any different? We're clearly seeing the live service strategy sucks. It's there. It's just garbage. It's garbage. I get it. 5 years ago, 4 years ago, everybody had the whole grand idea. It's important, brings money, blah, blah, blah. Theory. I get the theory. Now we can't go by holding on to theories. We have to hold on reality. What is the reality? Is the live service strategy successful or is it a failure? It's a failure. Plain and simple. It is what it is. That is the worst part of PlayStation. Everything else is great. And I will say, toning that live service rate back and focusing on what everybody loves about PlayStation will make even PlayStation better. Hey, we all know PlayStation broke a new record. $31 billion. The first gaming company to ever do that. Not Tencent, not Microsoft, not Steam, not even Apple. Not even, who's the other one? It starts with an E. The publisher that bought like 50 studios. It starts with an E. I don't know why Ember Labs is coming into mind, but it's not Ember Labs. It's God, what's their name? It starts with an E. Help me out. Embracer. Not Embracer. $31 billion. The most profitable fiscal year. Not even Epic. And Epic has Fortnite. Epic, not even Take-Two. Listen, look. Oh my God, you got me started. Thank you for bringing up Epic Games. Shout out to Anonymous Balls, Embracer. Absolutely. Look at the companies. Check this out. You got Take-Two. Take-Two got Grand Theft Auto 5. Live service game. The game sold 100 million units. That game has live service money dripping out its asshole. But if that's not enough, they got the most popular basketball game in the world, NBA 2K. People in Botswana are playing NBA 2K. And half of us can't even pick where that country's at. And if that's not enough, they also got WWE 2K. Look at all this live service goodness that they got. Take-Two got live service dripping out the asshole. And it's not just them. Look at EA. Literally. These guys perfected the RL live service so much that they're literally selling the same game twice. Madden and college football. It's the same game. And they found the way to sell both for $70. And then if that's not enough, because American football is not popular around the world, EA's like, we got football club. What you want? You want it? We got it. So the whole entire world is consistently playing EA, consistently giving them money over and over every year. It is consistently the highest selling games, period, across the world. And then you got Epic, literally, possibly the most popular console game, Fortnite. Now they got Star Wars, they got Lego, they got Rock Band. The game literally has everything in Fortnite. Yo, in about 2 years, Fortnite's going to have OnlyFans as a DLC content. It's literally going to have everything in there. Yet none of them made $30 billion. Notice that? Companies with the most popular games on the goddamn planet. Excuse me, Lord. You know, how come EA's not making 30 billion? How come Epic's not making 30 billion? The entire planet is on Steam, according to PC gamers. Valve is not making 30 billion a year. Nintendo, their games sell them games sell 60, 70, 80 bucks a pop, and they don't get a price drop. And they don't make $30 billion in the fiscal year. Sony is the only one. PlayStation brand is the only one. And they don't have Fortnite. They don't have these games that just sell whatever. And if you look at the MAUs, so how is it that PlayStation makes so much damn money, yet they don't have the most popular games on the entire planet? Is because most of the console gamers that are playing the most popular games, you're most likely playing it on PlayStation. If you're a Fortnite gamer, you're probably playing on PlayStation. If you're playing Call of Duty, Madden, Football Club, Grand Theft Auto, 2K, you're probably on PlayStation if you're a console gamer. Obviously, PC has its own market. But if you're on console, you're probably a PlayStation gamer. And Sony makes 30% off of all of that. Anonymous Boss, Fortnite gonna have Power Rangers content later. Is he serious or are you trolling? Power Rangers are in that sucker? Look at that. Didn't a rapper have like a whole ass concert in Fortnite? It was like a R&B or rap artist that literally had a concert in Fortnite. Who was it? What was his name? I forgot his name. Oh, he said, nah, it's a joke. Travis Scott! Eminem too? Nah, Eminem didn't have a concert. Eminem had a concert in Fortnite? I know Travis Scott. That I remember. Travis Scott, a whole ass concert in Fortnite. And Epic can't make 30 billion in a fiscal year. Travis Scott and Eminem. And they still can't make 30 billion. Ice Spice had a concert. Did she shake her ass in that concert? I need to see that shit on YouTube. I'm gonna lie. I'm gonna look that shit up. Ice Spice Fortnite concert? That's crazy. All right. Wait, back to my rant. Back to my rant. Back to my rant. All right? Back to my rant. My service strategy sucked. It's garbage. It's a bad strategy. Stop with the theory behind it. And no, because people mention it on Twitter, well, Sony needs to do it. No, they do not. Sony does not need to do live strategy. That is a proven fact. That's not even something to debate. Again, Sony broke the new record. $31 billion in the fiscal year and their most profitable fiscal year. And you cannot tell me it's because of Sony's live service strategy. If anything, that's fucking it up. Their Sony live strategy is really holding them back from really going ham. Okay? Now, again, some of y'all are like, oh, but like, your games get canceled. Your games get canceled all the time. Again, this is why I am saying live service strategy, the overall strategy sucks because you only got one product out of it. The single player strategy, yes, it has its canceled games. Every generation. Lots of single player games from Sony first party got canceled on PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and PlayStation 4. But those consoles provided some of the biggest blockbusters. Multiple, not just one. Lots. Lots of goatees. There's a reason why PlayStation has the most Game of the Year awards out of any brand. You understand? So the argument isn't that the live service strategy isn't perfect. Because if we would have had 3 or 4 bangers, all right, you're going to have your failures, but you have your bangers. But we don't have bangers. Plural is banger. Hell, there is 2. That's it. Nothing else. And then the strategy screwed over the single player shit. Hey, Bluepoint, make a God of War live service game. Shut the fuck up, bro. Even if the studio was the one who volunteered, I would have slapped the shit out that dude, bro. Oh my God, bro. I would have cracked his jaw with that stupid shit. I'll be like, shut the fuck up and go make Bloodborne, bro. Get the fuck out of my office if I would have been in that office. I swear, excuse me for cursing. And if you have kids, I really apologize. But that's all I would have done. If I would have been in office and the lead of Bluepoint came in, he'd be like, hey, Mark, I'll talk to you. Hey, sure, what's going on? Hey, we're ready for the next project. I'm like, woo, what you got cooking? They're like, hear me out. All right, we're going to do God of War. And he starts out with that. I'm like, But the Santa Monica? Yeah, but we're talking to them for something. I'm thinking, all right. In my mind, I'm thinking, oh, maybe they might do like an Atreus adventure. All right. What we got? Oh, yeah, and we're gonna do a multiplayer live service on God of War. I would have got off that desk and slapped the shit out the dude, bro, real quick. Ah, boy, HR would have came in with the quickness. Oh my God. That dude would have felt God in that room, bro. That slap would have came so quick. Wow. Yo, the secretary would have heard that shit out the office, boy. I'll be like, I would have said, security, get this bitch out the building. I don't even listen. Not only is he not allowed in Sony headquarters, he's not allowed to be in in Santa Monica. Kick this motherfucker out of California, bro. Donald Trump, ICE it. Yo, ICE. This dude's a legal immigrant. Kick his ass out. Deport his ass to El Salvador. Yo ass taking a flight to El Salvador with that bullshit. Yeah, out your mind with that bullshit, boy. That thing would have came. Oh, that would have been like you would have saw like if you remember the old Batman from the 70s. Oh, bam. That shit would have said, yo, you would have saw a news report saying a mushroom cloud appears out in California due to a huge explosion. Boy, I would have been like One Punch Man. That would have been like, yo, it would have been like Dragon Ball Z. Like different levels of energy would have came in, and I would have been like, boom, and a mushroom cloud would have came out in the middle of California. You would have FEMA all over that area trying to investigate what the fuck happened. There would be news reports of terrorists having a nuclear weapon, all this stuff. And then after 3 weeks, with all the dust is settled, the news report would have been like, Blue Point lead direct came out with a stupid plan and Puerto Rock slapped the shit out of them. Boy, causing like a nuclear chain reaction with the palm of my hand and the molecules of his face. The atoms that's like in our body, I would have triggered an explosion with that. That's how fast he would have gotten slapped. Boy, if you don't come with that bullshit out of here, boy. Oh my God, bro. I would have been registered as a deadly weapon after that day, boy. They would have locked me up in Area 51. They'd be like, yo, you too lethal. We can never have that shit happen again. Boy, you gotta be kidding me with this shit. Boy, this is the worst. Yo, I'm telling you, this is the most dumbest strategy I have ever heard in my life. And again, do not come and say it's necessary. Sony made $31 billion. Had the most profitable fiscal year for the brand. And it wasn't because of live service game. It was because, luckily, they didn't completely abandon the basics. Release first-party games, have great second-party deals, and notice, again, the second-party deals on the live service side suck. Foam Star, suck. Destruction All-Stars, suck. Who the fuck else knows what other stupid shit they did? Like, almost everything about live service strategy other than Helldivers is shit. Consistent shit. It's unbelievable, this live service strategy. So don't defend that bullshit because, I got to protect Sony. Get the fuck out of here. Protect them assholes. They're fucking us over. Oh, I'm sorry for cursing. Oh, my God. Sorry for cursing. Not meant to curse. I try to keep it PG. Listen, if you're a PlayStation gamer, the live service strategy in the reality of how it's executed is doing you no favors. No one on PlayStation is benefiting, right? Other than the Helldivers gamers. That's it. No one's benefiting from that. No one's benefiting from that. This new live service push, no one's benefiting from that. It just haven't been benefiting. It just hasn't. And I'm going to tell you one thing. I'm going to say this. I'm going to end off this live with this. But before that, Maven's War. Devil's Advocate. Live service could fund anything you want. How? When it's failing? What's it funding? I get the live service. I get the Devil's Advocate, but we can't play Devil's Advocate in 2025, Avenzor. I don't need Devil's Advocate but potentially or theory, I need results. For example, what game is Concord funding? What game has Foam Star funded doing a deal with them? Destruction All Stars. I don't think it's going to do so much. You see what I'm saying? So we gotta stop. Listen, it's 2025. You know, the whole devil's advocate resort. I appreciate you supporting the channel, but I'm trying to help you out. Devil's advocate, talking about the theory, what live service can do, that's a 2020, 2021, 2022, maybe even 2023 conversation. Now we're beyond that. Now we need to call a spade a spade. That's where we at right now. Let's make a decision. Let's have the combo. Let's call a spade a spade. The spade right now, in reality, Sony's live service strategy flopped. It's failure. They don't know what they're doing. It has done nothing but hurt PlayStation. It is the weakest part of the brand. Absolutely. The brand is absolutely successful. Absolutely successful. Again, $31 billion. Numbers don't lie. So all these Xbox farmers saying, oh, Sony's hurting for money. Shut the fuck up. $31 billion in your face. Most profitable fiscal year ever. Shut your mouth. That's a lie. But what is true is the live service strategy didn't get PlayStation to this position. It wasn't the live service strategy that got PlayStation to $31 billion. It wasn't the live service strategy that got PlayStation to the most profitable fiscal year. It is not. It is their consistent first-party output of their single-player games and the proper second-party deals that they got and nurturing the third-party titles, making sure that if you're playing a third-party game and you're a console gamer, you're probably playing it on PlayStation. Voila. There you go. And then little things that just ended up amazing, such as Portal, DualSense Edge, even the multiple controllers. All those things are doing phenomenal, adding to the pie. You know? Now, of course, can we all be honest? I know some are going to say, oh, but wait till Marathon comes out. I'm going to ask you this. I'm going to be honest with the chat. Chat, I need you to be honest. Let's see if we can honest. If Bungie was bought by Microsoft and they were part of Xbox, Type 1, if PlayStation gamers will still hype it and be excited for Marathon, or Type 2, if you will see them bash Marathon. I want to see the honesty among y'all. What do you think would actually happen? Would PlayStation community still be excited for Marathon? Like, yeah, it's going to be great, whatever. Or would they change their tune and be like, nah, that shit's a flop. Flop. Xbox flop. Game Pass, another Game Pass filler. What do you think would actually happen? I want to gauge the honesty in Bungie and Marathon. Again, if Xbox bought Bungie and Marathon was being hyped by Xbox, what would be the PlayStation community reaction to Marathon? Devil's Advocate, PS1, we get everything. It's side quest time. Well, I'm sorry. Let me do some super chat. Anonymous Boss, we need Warhawk and Solcom back. Live service not going anywhere for 2025. I will have to join me, you, and my brother Ghost so we can bring Resistance back. I would love Sony to remaster some of the classics. I don't know what's up with them. I will say this. They clearly fumbled the bag on what games to remaster. But that doesn't mean that the strategy is lost forever. Remember, PlayStation fumbled the bag in the beginning of the PlayStation 3 era, and they course corrected. So they might course correct later in the gen, and then the PlayStation 6 will start seeing remasters of the classics PlayStation 3. That could happen. So the plan to remake PlayStation 3 classics is not a totally dead plan. They just didn't implement it this gen, which I think they missed the boat. But it could be a next gen strategy where they realize, damn, PlayStation gamers really want full remakes of PlayStation 3 games. We're going to give it to them. And it might be even cross-gen with PlayStation 5 and stuff. Who knows? That doesn't mean the plan's dead. Let's just hope they're actually reading the room temperature. All right. Thank you so much. Naven's Devil's Advocate, PS1. Absolutely. We get everything. Absolutely. Inside Quest time. But we got to admit the weakness of PlayStation. To me, that's the fine line that separates us from us and the Xbox community. Xbox community accepted and defended every bad decision, and they would not recognize anything that was clearly wrong with Xbox. They said nothing. They defended it, whatever. We can't be the same. We have to look at PlayStation and actually, if you enjoy the console, right, and you think the console is great, ain't nothing wrong on giving it a look and be like, man, the worst part of this console is Sony's strategy for live service. Their strategy service sucks. You know? And maybe they won't listen to us. Maybe they will. Who knows? But we should still voice our opinion. Be like, hey, Sony, stop. We're done. We're done with the live service. Move on from that shit. Just move on. Got it in the beginning. Data, analytics, blah, 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 blah. It's 2025. Let it go. You're stuck with Bungie. All right, got it. You created this new group. Let's looking for gamers. They should name LFG to looking for games. Sure, that should be it. But looking for gamers, you made your decision. But stop buying these third-party studios simply because they come up to you, knock on the door. Hi, Sony. I got a live service multiplayer game. Oh, you're acquired. No. We're not doing that. Stop that shit. Stop that. Stop acquiring developers because they're producing a live service game. Just stop that shit. Stop that shit. We're done. We're done buying. You're done. You are done buying developers simply because they're making a live service game. You're done with that shit. You're done with that shit. Drop that shit. Wrap that shit up. Close the books on that. You got LFG. You got Bungie. I don't know what's going to happen with Haven, but Jade Raymond's gone, so who's in charge of that? Lord. Stop. Blue Point, Sony Ben, them guys should not be doing live service games. Stop that shit. Keep it contained. You got Bungie and LFG. And hopefully Haven survives. I don't think they will, but we'll see. That's it. You're done. The other studios that have always been making multiplayer because of their franchise, long-running franchise, and will be The Show, Gran Turismo, they're good. They're successful. Leave them alone. Bungie. Hopefully Haven doesn't shut down. We'll see. Leave that alone. Just move on. Look at the studios you do own that have delivered quality Game of the Year titles. They deserve all that money you wasted on Firewalk and all this other bullshit. Hell, Hunters, Predator. Well, that was trash investment. But anyway, all this other shit that you invested to buy and market live service bullshit, put that into the studios that earn the right to grow. Sucker Punch earned their right to grow. They earned their right. They should not be stuck with just one development team. They earned their right. They are producing Game of the Year titles, and they have produced quality titles all the time. There is no reason that you shouldn't be doubling down on that studio, right? No reason at all, right? And Sony Ben has legacy titles that you should give them another development studio. Bring back Siphon Filter. A lot of people have been begging for Splinter Cell for a long time. And I'm not saying Siphon Filter and Splinter Cell are the same, but obviously people want those type of games. Perfect time to bring Siphon Filter or full-blown remake. And again, you probably could get that remake done in 3 to 4 years. Right? Easily. And I can only imagine with the technology of the PlayStation 5 and the Pro, how, especially Siphon Filter was a PS1 game, I can only imagine how far that game would just be. How much more you can do for that game. I can't even imagine that. I even had an idea. I even had an idea because rumors or conversations was Siphon Filter was kind of like in the same universe as Sony, as Days Gone. Everybody agree with that? Navenzor, but PS first party still putting out quality. The ones that do come out, I agree. Like Naughty Dog hasn't released any new games this gen. They only release remasters. Nothing new. Right? Sony Ben, we're not getting a game from them. So they're out of the picture. Blue Point, we got what you call it? Demon Souls, which is fantastic, and that's it. That's pretty much their chapter's over with. You know what I'm saying? So their chapter is over with. Gorilla, so far we only got Horizon Forbidden West. That's it. Santa Monica, God of War Ragnarok. That's it. You see what I'm saying? So when they do come out with something, it's amazing. Yo, Insomniac, them dudes is like Atlas. They got the whole entire universe on their back. Not only did they have a good, they released multiple games, but they also showed the technology that the PlayStation was able to do. You understand what I'm saying? People asking me about KOTOR remake. Again, isn't that Embracer? That's Embracer, right? KOTOR remake is Embracer? Shit, what a shit show, right? Okay. Where was I at? Anonymous Boss. So Navenzor, PlayStation first party for the games that are coming out, quality. But the tempo and a lot of hellbacks. And all for what? For one live service game? For one live service game. Anonymous Boss. Rumors People Can Fly is bringing back Cyberpunk Filter. P-Rock 100%. It was shown on documents. It is revival in existing Sony IP. Oh, please let that happen, bro. Please. Please. Let me say this. Project Mara, oh, that's on Xbox. But you know what? Xbox having those problems too. A lot of people, it's taking long to develop games. Trucknet, nah. You're not laughing at Wolverine. Shut the hell up. Because I guarantee not once in this chat you mention where's Gears of War E-Day. All right, so don't even come with your bullshit. All right, Insomniac has released 3 games this gen. Wolverine, apparently a 2026 game, would be their 4th title. So yeah, no one can give Insomniac the smoke. Not even close. Not even close. Don't even try that. Don't even go there. All right. Oh, good point, new doll boy. What the hell's Perfect Dark? That game was announced in 2020. So stop it, Trunk. Stop it. Stop playing. Fable. What is it? Perfect Dark was a 2020 announcement. Stop it. You can't give Insomniac the smoke because of Wolverine when they release Miles Morales, Rift Apart, Spider-Man 2. Don't even play that. That they come out, Wolverine will be their 4th game this gen. 4. So Insomniac, they're the golden boys. You can't touch them. No one can give them smoke. Okay? All right? No one can give them the smoke. You're right. Perfect Dark was announced 2021 with Wolverine, but Insomniac had Miles Morales, Rift Apart, and Spider-Man 2. So what's Perfect Dark's excuse? So yeah, did that. Now listen, man, y'all made me lose my point. I had a good point and y'all messed it up. Listen. Oh, okay, here we go. I'm going to say this. I'm going to end off with this. If you enjoy the PlayStation 5 console, you absolutely had the right to understand why Sony was trying to go for live service strategy. I understand. I'm not arguing the understanding. What I am saying, it is time to simply admit the strategy failed. And we just need to move on from it or minimize it to the minimal strategy, which is just simply you got Bungie, you might have Haven Studios, and you got LFG. We're not going to jump on brand new studios that sending email to Sony and says, "Hey, we got a new live service game. We're interested. Oh yeah, we're gonna acquire you." No, we're done with that. And Sony, you're done with that. No more acquisitions of live service centric studios. Stop that trash. You're done. You got LFG, Bungie, and maybe Haven Studios, if they even survive. If they get shut down because you think the project sucks and Fair Games doesn't come out, Bungie and LFG. That's it. That's all you get. Obviously, you're good with MLB The Show and you're good with Gran Turismo. That's it. Don't worry about nothing else. Move on from that. Just put it away. You could fundamentally understand why they made this decision in the beginning, but at this point, everyone has to admit and face the facts: the live service strategy failed. Just simply admit it failed. Tell Sony you suck at this, and that's okay. You just can't do it. Don't worry about it. Keep pumping out the shit that you know is fantastic, and we will have no problem with it. Rewrite the ship. Anonymous boss, Satya would do anything to get Insomniac Bros. Oh, I bet he would be like, fuck, why did we let them go? Absolutely. Right? Listen, let's not try to mask the failure of live service game. Let's not try to mask it. Let's not try to mask it with, oh, Sony won the gen, which I absolutely did. Oh, we get all Xbox games because Xbox needs us. They absolutely do. Right? Let's not use some of the positives of PlayStation to ignore the negative. The live service name is the negative. It's a stupid strategy. It's a failed strategy. Let's just go. We're done. Wrap that shit up. You got Bungie, LFG, and maybe Haven. And you're going to stick with those guys. And that's it. No more. No mas. Helldivers, obviously, it's going to stay relevant. You got your Helldiver success. Bungie, go with God. Hopefully Marathon's a success. Haven Studios, hopefully, who knows? They might get shut down. And looking for gamers. That's it. We don't need no more. We don't need no more. No mas. No mas. We're done. Box that shit up. Keep it there. Put the rest of the funding into amplifying the part that is consistently making PlayStation successful. Just keep going there. And that's it. Your only friend is YouTube streets. Porter Rock 77. And the new war started. Console warriors versus corporate warriors. Because we already whooped the shit out of you multiplayer warriors. That multiplayer, even Xbox was a tougher fight. You guys was just straight soft butter. You were room temperature butter. You multiplayer faction was this civil war between single player and multiplayer, this shit was not a war. This shit, you guys are soft as room temperature butter. My God, we whooped the fuck out of you guys. It was an ass whooping. Like, hey, Extreme, I know you declare yourself general. It's over, bro. Like, it's too late. You ain't got nobody to be a general of. God, we whooped the shit out of you guys so bad. That shit wasn't even a contest. Xbox with Connect was a tougher fight than this shit. My God, my God, my God. My God. This was embarrassing. I swear, I feel like I'm about to go on trial for war crimes. Because, man, this Civil War was just a slaughter, bro. Just give up the stars, bro. You ain't got no multiplayer forces. That's already done. Right now, I moved on. Like, yeah. Yeah, that's cute. You and your spitballs. Yeah, that's cute. Yeah, cute. I get it. You're the general of the multiplayer force. Oh, I'm so scared. Got it. Nah, I'm looking out for the next horizon. I'm looking for the corporate warriors. I'm gonna. That's it, bro. We're gonna cleanse the nation. Us console warriors will be purified. All right, we're gonna find them. Nah, Puerto Rico just hasn't succeeded yet. Yet? My boy Navensor hasn't succeeded yet? My man, shout out to Navensor, man. I love you, bro. My man's like, wait for E3. Hell no, we're not doing that. We're not doing the whole yet. We wrap this shit up. Yeah, no, listen. There's nothing. Listen, we could have this conversation on Tuesday. You got nothing. You got nothing. It's over. Tuesday, come on. You could come on. You are literally Irish butter room temperature. Get out of here. I'm moving on. My troops, we marching. We already dominated your area. We're going after the corporate warriors. That's the new horizon. We're getting on our aircraft carriers. We setting new coordinates. It's on because this is ridiculous. Anyway, your only friend is YouTube Street Porter Rock 77. I'm trying to arrange to get Crap Gamer tomorrow on a Friday Night Live. Who would have thought, right? Well, hopefully we could get that through. We'll see. But tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Pacific, Friday Night Live with Porter Rock and hopefully special guest Crab Gamer. All right. Failure is when you give up. Nah, dog. Nah, dog. Failure, failure is not when you give up. Failure is when you when you don't succeed to do what you got to do. You understand what I'm saying? Listen. You remember the movie Titanic? I don't know if you ever saw Titanic. The symphony guys, they went down with the ship. That was in success. They died. That's what happened to them. They died. They didn't succeed by staying playing the instruments while the ship was sinking. They died. That's what happened. Okay. You know who came out winning? The dudes that got on the lifeboat. You gotta be more like the dude that grabbed the little kid and said, "Oh, this is my daughter. I gotta go with her." And it wasn't his kid. That dude won. All right. That's how you win. All right. Okay. Um, shout out to David Zor. Anonymous boss says, "We marching, P Rock. Those corporate executives aren't doing no good. We got this, anonymous boss. All right. Glimmer to my Glimmer gamers. Stand by for your new marching orders. Got a new targets. You know, Eminem. You don't know about my Glimmer gamers. All right. If you don't know, stand the hell by. Because in the dark, first you see a glimmer, and then you don't. So stand by. To my tier 1 operators, new marching orders are coming down the line. We slapped the shit out of these multiplayer gamers. My God, my God, my God. All right, man. You guys, love you guys. Hopefully I could provide that entertainment tomorrow. All right. You guys take care. The only friend is YouTube Street Porter Rock 77. All right. You guys take care. Love you guys. Thank you for rocking out. Don't forget to hit the like button and share this out. We got to spread the message. All right. You guys take care. Peace.